I'm Reece Stein with Marianne at your leisure in Northern Ireland, a tiny land with big attractions, dramatic scenery, and a troubled history. They even enticed a couple of us to give traditional Irish folk dancing a go. Lord of the dance I am not, but it was fun trying. To avoid civil unrest, Ireland was divided in 1920. 6 counties in the northeast became Northern Ireland and are predominantly Protestant and remain part of the United Kingdom. The south became the Irish Free State, mainly Catholic. Walls and gates close at night to keep Catholic and Protestant neighborhoods divided. We tour the barriers in a classic Irish taxi with a knowledgeable driver as our guide. Violence called the Troubles erupted in the 20th century, killing hundreds on both sides. It ended with Good Friday Agreement in 1998. Segregation continues, enforced by the walls and gates. On the island's far north coast, the Giant's Causeway is Northern Ireland's top tourist draw. Made up of 40,000 basalt columns from a fissure eruption 40,000 years ago, the tops of the columns form stepping stones. It's a World Heritage Site.
It's a little scary walking on it, and we didn't go that far, but we could see everything, and everybody seemed to be having a good time.
Nearby, we quench our thirst at Bushmills, the oldest licensed whiskey distillery in the world from 1608. Heading west to Derry, or Londonderry, we meet Jean Haggerty, who tells the terrible tale of how her brother, 17-year-old Kevin McElhenney, was shot and killed by a British paratrooper. 13 people died when soldiers opened fire. The graceful Londonderry Peace Bridge opened in 2011 to improve relations between the Unionist East Bank and the Nationalist City side on the West Bank. Up the hill, we stroll along the mile-long city walls, built in the early 1700s. 22 cannons protect the walls. The nearby Guildhall is a classic building from 1890 that serves as City Hall and features a museum on the ground floor. The statue of Queen Victoria suffered during the Troubles when 2 IRA bombs took her hands, crown, and scepter. Along the west coast, the iconic greenery of the Emerald Isle is enchanting. A sheep farm hard up against the Killary Ford. A farmer and his dog, Rock, work together to round up the sheep. The farmer issues subtle commands and Rock responds immediately, quickly bringing the flock home to the pen.
It's nice when we get out into the countryside and see the real Ireland and meet the people in the pubs and in the restaurants and the cafes, because that's where you're going to meet the hospitality and see the true Irish.
The spectacular scenery includes Donegal Bay, Ireland's largest and full of wildlife, from seals and whales to all kinds of birds. The bay features Ireland's second highest cliffs. Slieve League towers nearly 2,000 feet above the water, a favorite for hikers. Less green but equally dramatic is the Burren, 140,000 square miles of flat limestone slabs smoothed by glaciers 300 million years ago. Early settlers used the slabs as dry rock fences. 5,000 years ago, a Stone Age farmer was buried in this tomb on a remote Burren hilltop. 1,000 years ago, a family sought refuge in this circular Burren fort with a low bridge entry for further security. The Burren extends out to Aran Islands at the mouth of Galway Bay. The smallest isle is Inisheer, with about 340 residents, but lots of tourists. Back on the mainland, we meet weaver Cindy Graham, turning out the highest quality woolen textiles on her 130-year-old loom. We learn the intricacies of traditional Gaelic sports, including hurling, a cross between lacrosse and field hockey. I said learned, not perfected. And Gaelic football, a little rugby mixed with soccer, played on a field half again larger than an American football field. Every town has such a field. A ruckus in the tiny town of Clifton turns out to be a celebration for the local girls' Gaelic football team returning from victory at a regional football tournament. Our final stop is the Windy Cliffs of Moher on Galway Bay, one of Ireland's most visited sites. The cliffs rise to 700 feet near O'Brien's Tower, built in 1835 to enhance visitation, and giving us a dramatic finale to our brief visit. Reece Stein with Marianne on the Emerald Isle of Ireland.